Hi everyone. Due to the fact that I haven't really had much of a chance to introduce myself and let you guys know really a lot about myself personally, I figured I'd take the time today to do that. I was born and raised in Italy. My father's Italian, my mom's American. I grew up there until I was 9 years old, and then I moved over to the US. I grew up playing soccer, and I was always a big fanatic of sports. And that passion for soccer, but really just for sports in general, really influenced me a lot growing up. I always knew I wanted to be really good at soccer. And when I stopped playing soccer, I knew that I still wanted to be really good at something, and really good at a sport. And so that's what kind of led me to pursuing a career in football. I began training vigorously in 7th grade. I had a lot of things going on in my life at the time, and football was an escape from that. Training was an escape from that, and it metamorphosized into a craving and a desire and a passion and a drive to want to reach the next level. And that's exactly what I did. I was offered 8 D1 football scholarships in high school, and I decided to pursue one of them. I never was able to play much in college because I was suffering from nagging injuries. That being said, sports taught me so much about discipline. I was beyond blessed to be coached by Billy Napier, a great coach, when I was at the University of Louisiana in Lafayette, and it taught me so much about what it meant to be successful. Going into it, I was a great football player, I was a great athlete, but I was not a great student. I was smart, and so I got by in high school with a really good GPA, but that wasn't enough to get me through college, especially in the first semester. My first semester had a 1.9 GPA. I hated going to class. I skipped class. I thought I could get by with the same things that I did in high school and college, and that just didn't work. And there was one big mantra that he lived by, and he kept reiterating and ingraining that into our brain, and that was, how you do anything is how you do everything. You cannot be great at your job if you aren't a great father, because if you allow yourself to not be a great father, that same approach, lackadaisical approach, will in some way be challenged when you have to demand yourself more than usual from your job, and therefore you may take a shortcut in that situation too. Now, after college, I moved back home, and I was looking for a job. So the natural next step for me was fitness. I just so happened to be in the gym. A trainer approached me to pursue a job there, and so I was like, you know what, let me get some extra cash, I'll start working there. And I can't necessarily say that I was beyond passionate to want to start that, but it was gonna pay the bills, and it was gonna help me get my feet wet into the adult world. So after about 9 months of training, there was a few things that I noticed that kind of started moving me in my own direction. The first thing was that I felt like I was surrounded by a lot of people who just weren't that good at their jobs, and I just didn't like that. I've never really liked associating myself with underachievers or people who are unhappy or people who just do things just to do them. And I had a boss. One thing that I've never been really good at is having somebody above me telling me what to do. I've always really struggled with people trying to put me inside of a box and tell me what I should do, how I should do it, when I should do it. I don't like being in a position where my personal situation, my finances, my health, or my security is in the hands and control of somebody else. And with all those things, the stars sort of aligned for me, and I was like, you know what, let me look at eventually moving in and doing some personal training privately, independently, by myself. I formed my LLC, I had my website, and I started transitioning into private training. It's only been 7 months, and the vision for Sabatini Fitness has transformed into something so much greater. So one thing that was somewhat consistent among clients, and a dilemma that I was faced with as a personal trainer at the commercial gym and even privately, was that health was always a two-faced monster. Clients came to me because they were out of shape and needed to get in shape, and I knew how to get them to where they wanted to go. Their lack of health, their lack of fitness, their being out of shape was only the surface of the real issue, which was everything behind the scenes. I started realizing that there was a bigger issue here than just physical health. There are people who are motivated, people who have goals, there are people who aspire to be something greater. And then there's people who don't. There are people who, regardless of how much you talk to them, regardless of how much you do, unfortunately, they'll always stay miserable. That is the truth. And the essence of Sabatini Fitness is not just the physical health component of it, it's that we are a lifestyle brand. We are a brand that attracts and unites as a community on the basis of a higher standard. If you train with me, whether it be one-on-one or in group fitness, you hold yourself to a higher standard, not just physically in the gym, but in every other facet of your life. If you join a run club, then you are holding yourself to a higher standard and everybody around you to a higher standard. You're building a community of people who, not just inside of the run club, but meet up outside of the run club and talk about business and talk about growing and talk about growth and ambition and become hungry together. If you join one of our events, charity events, you're giving back to the community, you're doing more than just training, challenges, masterminds. All of these things that are associated with my brand that I'm creating are all a way for us to come together as a community with a shared value system of a higher standard, which ultimately is what I was as a child. The same person who was growing up loving to play soccer, who always knew that they had an aspiration to be something greater, is the same person that's standing in front of you today, pioneering a vision that I see becoming so enormous. I'm not here to sell you. I'm just here to really be open and honest about my journey and what has led me here, and how my company and what I stand for and what I preach and what I also do sell is not just a money grab. It's a call to action, and it's calling every single person like myself who knows that there's more to life than that 9 to 5, that there's more to life than settling, that there's more to life than staying in your toxic circles and your toxic relationships, accepting toxic things, and coming together with a whole bunch of group of people who are just like yourself to elevate each other up to the top. Life is a beautiful thing, and we should never settle. It's a gift that's been given to us from God, and we should always pursue it with hunger and ambition and a craving to maximize its potential. I hope you guys feel like you learned quite a bit about me. I did try to be pretty transparent in this video. So if this resonates with you, I'm glad, I'm thankful. And I ask that if you especially are in the Dallas DFW area, come be a part of it. There's so much for you to do and engage with Sabatini Fitness. You don't even have to come and buy training. Guys, the run clubs are free. A lot of the events are like $20 to get in, and there's so much value, there's so much community being built here, guys. Please come be a part of it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.